Good evening and thank you for allowing Capital Markets be a part of your weekend again. I'm Temple Ashaji. Welcome to the program. Now, the capital market this week saw the first fall in inflation rates in 15 months, just as one of our guests on the program had predicted a few weeks ago. The decline touched records as a result of base effects, shedding 0.94% from 18.7% in January to 17.8% in February. Looking ahead, the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee is billed to hold next week, Monday the 20th to Tuesday the 21st. This is the enable the committee review major global and domestic economic developments since its last meeting. This meeting will be coming on the back of a continuous decline in the nation's domestic output, inflationary pressures, weak earning in the stock market, as well as the existing gaps in the FX market as the fiscal authorities show some action towards economic development and foreign exchange administration. But in another development, the federal government released the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan for implementation between 2017 and 2020. The document, which will run concurrently with the Strategic Implementation Plan, is designed to lift the economy out of recession. But in the midst of all this is the role that women play in the society against the backdrop of the just celebrated International Women's Day. We'll be joined by a female capitalist later on the show to provide insight on gender inequality in the capital market amid these other developments in the macroeconomy. But then let's take off this evening with some capital market numbers across the debt and equity market. And we will kick off with the OTC, the FMDQ OTC, where the local bonds market was relatively quiet ahead of the DMO's scheduled primary market auction this week. And taking a look at the numbers from FMDQ, the 18th of March 2036 security had 36 deals, which is the highest on our radar, valued at 5.20 billion naira and a price high of 77.80. Total deals there was put at 85 with a value of 13.40 billion naira, putting together all other transactions that was carried out on that platform yesterday, Friday. And on the T-bill side of things, we'll look at the 20th of April 2017 security, where 193 deals were exchanged across that security for a value of 48.25 billion naira and a discount high of 14.75, putting all other numbers that we saw crunched on that OTC yesterday together will result to a total deals of 788 and total value of 205.46 billion naira. Let's move on the AFMDQ OTC, where the Lagos State government successfully raised 47 billion naira under its 500 billion naira debt issuance program. The Series 1 7-year bond due 2023 was floated at a fixed rate of 16.50%. A statement from the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange confirms the debt program as the first subnational bond to be issued in the domestic debt capital market and listed on the FMDQ OTC this year, 2017. And still on the bond market, we'll take a look at the primary market auction that's held this week, which is oversubscribed at a total of 216.4 billion naira relative to the offered amount of 130 billion naira. Investors showed preference towards the longer tenured instruments as total subscription to the March 2027 bond stood at 75.99 billion naira compared to offered amounts of 50 billion naira, whilst total subscription to the March 2036 instrument settled at 102.18 billion naira relative to offered amount of 35 billion naira. The July 2021 instrument was, however, undersubscribed as total subscription stood at 38.21 billion naira compared to offered amount of 45 billion naira. And then let's move on to the NASD OTC market, where the unlisted securities index came in at 617.34, up 0.97%, and by the same margin impacting on the market capitalization of that platform, which came in at 417.77 billion naira. But then looking at the stories, some other stories that came in from that side of the market this week, we know that Crown Nature's listing is built to have its first analyst call. Crown Nature's Nigeria is expected to hold its first analyst call next week, Thursday, the 23rd of March, given the preparation to get listed on that market. The session, which is expected to help analysts obtain critical insights into the operations and forecasts of the firm, is coming ahead of the listing of the Consumer Essential Garment Manufacturing Company. But in a brief chat we had with the chief executive of the company, Mrs. Omolara Aromolaro, she explains her company's readiness to go public.
Nigeria PLC was founded in 2006, March. Our production operation began in October 2006. So we're about 10 years in operation in manufacturing of apparel. Now we've recently converted to PLC and moving to be listed on the NASD OTC platform to enable Nigerians participate in this sector.
What's your shareholder base?
Well, we have 100 million share capital available right now that we're going to be taking to NASD platform for listing.
I know you have commenced talks with Mr. Jomale. How soon are you getting them?
Within the next couple of weeks, we hope to wrap up and be on the platform fully.
Now, still on the NASD OTC, invitation of expression of interest has been extended to issuing houses of Nigeria over the listing of football clubs on the NASD OTC Securities Exchange. Some of the clubs set for offering under the watch of the League Management Company of Nigeria include Enyiba FC, which is Enyiba Football Club, Kano Pillars, Shooting Stars, and Enugu Rangers. Others on the list are MFM FC, Wiki Tourists, Gombe United, and El Kanemi Warriors. Following the close of bids on Friday, the LMC is expected to recommend shortlisted financial advisors to the management of each football club via a transparent selection process.